I think the most important number is the revenue losses and the revenue decline. Decline of 5.1%, but we must put that in context. 5.1% as a revenue decline in a traditional fixed line business is not unheard of, it's not unusual. But if we were to take a once-off like the mobile termination rates, which are an external event, it's not an operational event that happened, the decline is actually not that bad, it's about 2%. But that flows into EBITDA numbers, and our EBITDA margins have dropped from 29% to 27%. You could say in some fixed line operators would say 27% is still an envy in most markets, but that's not where we want to be. What hit the numbers mostly is the costs of establishing a new venture in mobile business, and therefore the EBITDA loss of 1.2 billion that we suffered in ATA is not unexpected, it was planned.
Definitely planned, but going forward, I mean, you're talking about mobile termination rates. That obviously means average revenue per user is going to come down going forward as well. You're looking at a very new business which obviously needs some time to grow in the incubator. What kind of numbers are you expecting going forward? And as I mentioned, is this the biggest loss? Is this the final bottom that Telkom could reach?
I think the biggest issue that had hit Telkom numbers in the past and this year too have been the write-offs because of the investment in Nigeria. The board has taken decisive action and stopped the bleed of cash in Nigeria. We tried to sell our CDMA business in Nigeria, which is what was the cash drainer, to Visaphone. We announced that the deal failed. The reason why the deal failed is because one of the conditions precedent couldn't be met, which is settling with Helios on their claim on multilinks. When that failed, therefore there was no need for us to proceed to fund the business when it is a cash drain. So the Telkom board has made that decision, and now the multilinks board will meet and look at its options, and then they will give a way forward.
Looking at when you bought multilinks back in 2007, there was a lot of speculation and a lot of criticism. We're sitting here in a position where you have taken up that very difficult decision. We know before you have mentioned you're not going to speculate on multilinks, but tell us about some of the strategies that you are planning to take forward in the next month or so that the market does know what your next move will be.
You are correct. We can't always be looking back because there were some bad decisions and bad execution decisions. So going forward, one of the areas that has been very positive for Telkom is the growth in the data services. We continue to grow our broadband and we continue to grow our corporate data services. And I believe that the investments that we've done in the past in this space are beginning to pay off. But if we look at the growth strategy for Telkom, it's based on the mobile services and the data services, and in particular broadband. And in order for us to be able to contain the costs that are inherent in a fixed line business, we need to invest. So we've got an investment program that we've put in place to replace some of the legacy technology in Telkom. That will have an impact on the cost because it takes a lot of people and real estate to manage some of these legacies. Some of our switching services are at end of life and therefore need to be retired. But the replacement switches don't need as much real estate as the old switches. So therefore, our investment program is a tailored investment program only to growth areas.
And some of the investor community out there have criticized Telkom and said, why not get the South African fixed line business right before delving into the mobile services? What is your response to that? And you're sitting with around 1.2 million ATA subscribers at this point in time. What kind of growth trajectory are you expecting, and when do you expect this business to be profitable?
We expect that ATA would be EBITDA positive in 2014 and to break even a year after. That is the guidance we've given to the market. We've also given a capital guidance on ATA that we believe over a period of 5 years we'll spend about 6 billion rand. We have to give the chance for the business to grow. This is a startup business and there are always costs up front when you do a startup. And therefore I believe that ATA, not only is it exciting for the Telkom people and it has invigorated them, it's actually very exciting for this market because, as you can see in the uptake and the reaction of the customers.